It's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports.
Taken in at the 3.
Here we go.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Let's go.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he's got room.
And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down on the other side of midfield.
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
So this play, until recently, only something you'd probably expect to see in a college game, but running quarterbacks are certainly in vogue, and this turned into a big play.
And you and I both know that for a long time, coaches worried about their quarterbacks taking too much punishment, running plays like this, and they still worry about it. But when you can break up big chunks of yardage like that, it's worth the risk. Plus, you're coaching that quarterback to see those guys coming and get down before the big hit occurs.
First carry now for the LSU alum, Ty Davis-Price.
Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
And now they'll throw with Lance.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Now a play fake. Lance. Finding Gray going across the field.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
Now again to the big fullback use check. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
Lance now to throw. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers.
Brandon Ayuk, his first touchdown of the new season. And the 49ers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. This will be fielded inside the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Go check.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Okay.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Pat the street. Go.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. The Eagles had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Here's Hurts to throw. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
18 Cardinals. Go, Reed, go. 60 Eagles.
They go back to the ground with Sanders. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now that play stopped by Drake Jackson.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. On 2nd and 9, Hurts out left and hauled in by Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Hey, smash Broncos! Hey, check that. Street. 18 Rattler. Let's go.
Right back to Sanders on first down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Eagles are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Working from the gun, Lance. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. These two teams all tied after one. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. He got 29 yards that time. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. First down, here's Mitchell. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
On the set.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Another run here with Sanders. They find some open field here. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his big tight end here. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on it. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
On 3rd down, Tatum. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Here we go. Hawk 70. Warriors 70.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. But he will not get away. He stopped short of the marker. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Let's go.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Lance. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
first down. Lance. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his first rushing touchdown of the year as they have taken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket.
And trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 93 yards on the ground now for Sanders. He's got a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Hey, check that. Unlock line.
Another run with Sanders. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From the 6. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Throwing now is Lance. And that is incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
A hole to dig out of here. 2nd and 17. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And a loose football. And the Eagles have recovered. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the lead grows to 14 and 24 to 10. Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, being the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ambry Thomas. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the 3rd quarter. 1 play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the 2nd half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result. Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Lance going to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Eagles are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Well, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Mustang 19. Buffalo 18.
Throwing is Hurts. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On the counter now, it's Sanders. He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. 110 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Look at this, a tight end carry.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
Hurt. 70 Timberwolf. Check, Bobcat. 70 Ranger.
Up the middle they go. Tatum, and he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Go.
From just shy of midfield, Hurts. And that'll be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Hurts. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is going to be 49er football. Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves starting to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do?
Now Lance unable to escape, and down he goes. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. Lance and the 49ers now, 1st and 10 at their 38. Drive starts with a give to Mitchell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Here's Lance to throw it. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Hey, smash Broncos! 19 Wyatt! Go!
Play action. Here's Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals, they all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Right back to Mitchell on second down. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw it. Screenplay setting it up for Mitchell. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time. Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right, then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Second down, back to Sanders. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. Shavarius Ward in on the tackle. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock. So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been excellent, 6 for 7. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now a handoff up the middle. Tatum, and that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound Brandon no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lance. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Now Lance again. And he will find his man Samuel. Touchdown! Deebo Samuel, 45 yards. And the Niners have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead will be cut down to 14. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Check Bobcats, check Bobcats.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Looking here for Smith downfield. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And the Niners are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
From midfield, here's Lance. Now they go screen. It's complete. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Lance now on first down. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores, want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And Lance now to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's Lance. Under pressure, and they got to him again. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot. But now, it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Eagles, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they'll drop to 0-2. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys.